This episode of Video Game Therapy was recorded while playing Alto's Odyssey, as a lot of them have been, but unfortunately after about 20 seconds I hit some hotkey to end the recording, so here's some everything gameplay in the background. I do make comments to the game here and there, but you can safely ignore those. Hope you enjoy. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Cowdino arcade. I'll be your player one, Mark, I'm mobkinz, and welcome back to Video Game Therapy. So I actually already recorded this week's Video Game Therapy on Sunday. Today is Tuesday. But I wanted to talk about something, and I'll upload that video as a bonus VGT, I suppose. That'll come out before this one. I talked a lot about what I had talked about last week, effectively, because it was the day after, and how you need an intrinsic motivation to do something. And the short of it was, whenever you're faced with a hard choice, you know, I'm on keto again. I'm fully by my own choice. So whenever you're faced with a choice like, oh, I really want to eat more, right? For example, you choose whether you want to eat more or you want the result of your intrinsic motivation, whatever it might be. When I was losing weight, do I want this bagel in the morning or do I want to be 30 pounds lighter? And the choice then is very clear. You just have to remind yourself what exactly your intrinsic motivation is whenever you're faced with these types of choices. If you want to watch more about that, you can go back to the VGT that was uploaded probably Thursday, now that I'm thinking about it. But I've potentially been struggling a lot recently with this idea of determination. I don't want to say willpower, but determination. For the past 9 days, I've been going on morning runs and taking cold showers in the morning. Well, the cold showers have been all right. They are difficult, as one might expect them to be. The morning runs are also difficult, but this morning I ran, so I walked the half mile to the bike trail that's near me. And then I ran for about 1 minute, and I said, nah, I'm done. I don't want to do this. And then I turned around and I walked back. That was it. I checked off my habit because to me, the hard part is getting out there, but there's a lot to dissect there, I think. But anyway, I told myself I'd do some shadow boxing today to make up for it. And so I was looking at workouts and stuff for boxing because I could devise my own, but for some reason I'm not willing to. I don't know. By the way, my AC's on. It's super hot. It's 93, feels like 106. I apologize if I'm not able to denoise all of that. But yes, anyway. So yeah, in looking for workouts, I was reminded of David Goggins. I'm not going to go over who he is. You can look him up really quickly, but that man is driven to all hell. There's also an episode of the Joe Rogan podcast, which I'm about to re-listen to after this while I do some work, because David Goggins has a lot to say. And I don't know how I just found a lemur, but okay, I'll accept my fact. Is it going to do something to me? All right. Anyway, there's this thing he says in the podcast, and it might be in his book. I'm not entirely certain. I just remember it. And I just wrote it up on my whiteboard. Do not seek to be gifted. Or no. Never mind. I came up with my own quote based on what he said. So he said, I'm not gifted, I'm driven. And I translated that, to me, that translated to, do not seek to be gifted, seek to be driven. And this really applies to anything you want it to, I suppose. For a while, I always thought I wasn't gifted enough at math to be good at it. So I never put in my full effort. I didn't think I was gifted enough at art to be good at it. So I didn't put in my full effort. And this is a mindset I still struggle with. I'm not gifted at X, and therefore, I can't do it. I was just talking to a friend about art the other day. And I'll touch back upon that because I think my art habit will be relevant. Grind a temple rune, score 3,500 trick points, snap 3 vines. It's doable. But yeah, it's a struggle. It's a struggling mindset. It's a very difficult mindset. I've said this in past VGCs, but the idea of mind over matter is a very difficult one to talk about, both because I believe it and I believe it at the same time. It's not just, oh, be happy. Obviously, I hope that's obvious at least. There's just so much to unpack. Anyway. I think mind over matter, to put it one way, is a culmination of tens and hundreds of ideas. Didn't see that wrong. that eventually mean something to you. You build up all of these ideas over time, whether they come from motivational videos or you listen to David Goggins' book and are like, damn, son. Whether you finally find how much determination you actually have. Somebody tells you to grow up, so on and so forth. And one day you're like, all right, I need to change things, which is what happened to me again about a week and a bit ago. And that has become my intrinsic motivation. Again, you can watch that VGT from Thursday if you'd like. It's a bonus episode. I don't know. So yeah, one of those mindsets that I struggled with for a long time, that I imagine a lot of people struggle with, is I'm not talented or I'm not gifted enough to do this, and therefore I won't do it or whatever. And I think the most present that mindset is, for me, is with art. Even though I'm trying to fight it on the daily, I'm not gifted at art, I can't draw well. It's not about being gifted, it's about being driven. So don't seek to be gifted at something, seek to be driven to do something. And that's where your intrinsic motivation comes in. Anyway, I struggled for a while with, excuse me, I'm not gifted at this. I don't have talent at this. I wasn't born with this, whatever. Yes, there are advantages from being born, but those are advantages that can easily, dare I say, be surpassed, be met with. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, I think part of me is recording this. Dang, that was kind of cool. Is recording this to pump myself up a little bit. But the run this morning really got to me. And today's been a little slipping in the sense. I kind of ate my day's calories worth in breakfast and lunch. I just had a really big lunch, like a homemade Chipotle bowl, and I just had like 2 servings. So I didn't break keto by any means, but anyway, the point is, if you're watching this, you know, it's a difficult, I don't like saying mindset. It's a difficult habit to break out of when you're saying, oh, I'm not gifted at this. But you have to seek to be driven to do something. Willpower will not get you all the way. Intrinsic motivation will not get you all the way. You have to be driven. I can't touch my toes, for example, right? A fact I don't know if I'd call myself insecure about it, but I'm definitely embarrassed a little bit by it. How can I really call myself a martial artist if I can't touch my toes? And I know what I need to do. Pretty standard. I just stretch every day, and within 2 weeks, I could probably touch my toes. Maybe not that quickly, but after PT and seeing how quickly that affected my shoulders, you see it goes by pretty quick. For stretching, that is. But it's not about, you know, having the right muscle fibers that are good at sprinting or something. It's incredibly unfortunate. It's not about whatever that makes you good at stretching. It's about being driven enough to sit down for 15 minutes a day. If you're David Goggins, 12 hours a day. 2 temple steps, backflip onto a grind, pick up a coin mega. Okay. So I've gotten kind of invested in actually playing this game for VGTs and stuff. It's coming back to art. I struggle so much to sit down and draw. Like, I know what I need to do. I have art lessons and assignments that I've been told to do. I have a daily sketch thing that I need to get done today. Yet for some reason, I just won't sit down and do it. Whether I need to envision my intrinsic motivation, perhaps I don't want it enough. I mean, I sat down for 5 hours in Adobe XD today. It's not about, you know, having the time. I definitely have the time, and I've specifically made the time for it, yet I keep pushing it off. To be fair to myself in one degree, I have been very lethargic lately, and I do believe that's keto fatigue. And just getting used to earlier wake-ups and runs. But that aside, you know, I'm feeling fine now. I should be drawing when I can. And I think the do not seek to be gifted, seek to be driven has really resonated with me for this. This drawing habit, right? I'm at a weird place with art where I don't think what I draw is good, but I can critique art and like, I don't know. I'm not gonna draw something and be like, this is my best thing. Yeah, I'm gonna immediately critique and pull it apart. And I think a part of me is scared for that because it's gonna, I don't know, validate inadequacy or whatever. I don't know. Today I'm being a little vulnerable. I don't care. But it really goes with everything. Now, I look back and consider myself to have been successful on many regards. You know, why have my academics been much better these past 3 or so semesters? What has changed about me? Like, why was I suddenly able to lose 40 pounds in 3 months? Why was I suddenly able to just last week be like, you know what? Yeah, keto time. Let's freaking do it. What is this thing about to do to me? Why can't I, you know, fix the really easy problems on my Minecraft server? Why can't I sit down to draw? Okay, that was kind of a cool effect. Draw. I'm looking back at these past habits that I've quote unquote succeeded at, and I try to look for the answers in there for these things that are different, but that's not where the answers are. Everything has its own reason. I'm getting way off topic. Getting off traffic? I don't know. Excuse me. Oh, I thought I had the Lotus. Wait, the game's not recording. Are you kidding me? Alright, well, the game hasn't been recording. I'm gonna throw in, I don't know, some random gameplay here because I'm recording the audio separately. Not sure why that stopped, but it probably stopped a long time ago. Anyway, that's more or less what I wanted to talk about today. I have a past VGT about, you know, mental time travel, and it kind of ties in with this idea because what we want to do now is at least I shouldn't say we, but I often tell myself, if I was gifted, I could do this. You know, I see other people do art and I'm like, but they're naturally good at it. No, shut up. They've practiced so much. You know, the whole thing about, oh, wow, you're so talented bugs me on so many levels. But it's not just because, you know, it started out as call them talented and you will remove the ability of yourself to be able to do something. But it's because if you call someone talented, you immediately invalidate all of the work, the time and effort that they have put into their craft. And that is what has become so annoying to me lately, I suppose. Is that I don't even know if there's anything that I can credit myself with here, but like, you know, someone draws something great and leaves a comment, says, oh my god, you're so talented, like, I wish I could do that. It immediately just says, you have a gift that I don't. You didn't put hours into the. I don't know. That's how I read it, and it just really bugs me. You know, great job, looks great, good effort, work's paid off. Those comments would mean a lot more to me. Obviously, I have my own subjective biases and whatnot, but yeah, don't seek to be gifted. Yeah, don't seek to be gifted at your craft or whatever. Seek to be driven to do the things that you want to do, to become the person that you want to be. You know, whatever your reason is, if it's something, if it's someone, if you need to meet standards and qualifications for something, you will find a way to do it. You know, Nietzsche's quote is if he who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Find your why, I guess. Find what drives you and just do it. It takes a lot of insight. It takes time. You have to go through a bunch of stuff. But all in all, it will take time and effort. Habits take time to kick. I don't know. I'm totally lost track now. Just hit a rock again. Yeah. That's going to end it for today's video game therapy. Again, if you want to check out the one on intrinsic motivation, if you haven't already, that went up on Thursday. I'll schedule it now, pretty much. I think I'm just really pissed at myself. Kind of frustrated. I don't know. Yeah, thanks for watching and or listening. As always, if you have thoughts or questions or comments or concerns, feel free to DM me if you know me or leave a comment on YouTube. Would love to hear it. It's kind of weird because these started as no one's going to watch these, but not people, the few people, my friends mostly, or people that I guess are on the Discord are. But yeah, have a good one. And as always, don't forget to seek to be driven. See you next week.